I'm not gonna lie. I think this is one of the most even drafts of this qualifier so far. I was liking Winter Bear's improvements from game 1 to game 2, but directly off the bat here, I think Mansaf has a capable draft to play with. Just really just down to how they execute the lane itself, because we've seen a lot of skill disparity between teams playing against Nigma Galaxy. Is Mansaf up for the challenge? And of course, reminder for all of you folks out there in chat, remember to get your back chests ready, because this is the game that will lead either one of these two teams into the grand final. So, a lot at stake. I hope you heard the air horn, by the way.
True. Oh, of course I heard the air horn. It's hard not to. It sounded like the fire alarm that went off in my building earlier today. So, if I was just honestly looking at draft to draft, taking out of the equation like which teams are playing, I'd probably prefer the Mansaf draft, just because you're going to be able to get into the Aghanim Scepter on the Void Spirit, and it just feels like it's a little bit easier for them to be jumping in onto those backlines, right? Get in there with the Aghanim Scepter. You've also got the Echo Stomp to stop life drain, mana drain, any sort of silence going in onto the backlines feels quite nice for them. So I want Nigma Galaxy to be putting a lot of emphasis onto this mid lane, making sure that there's not going to be a ton of power runes that I Love to Buy Back has to be able to play with, and just make sure that Sumail is being completely secured in what should be a pretty dominant lane for his Monkey King.
I'd just love to see that both Russell and Taz decide to start directly with the magic wand. For Medusa, it makes sense with your branches and your wands to just get the maximum amount of stats. But also, it is a pretty spam-heavy game in terms of abilities. There's a lot of short cooldowns on both sides, so expect a lot of ability flinging. And I think like utilizing your maxed out, or at least close to maxed out magic wand can really save lives.
A few times now that Noob has been away from his team when they've gone for these sorts of smoke plays, and they're actually just going to just avoid each other, walking past the active watcher. Wanting to get
he's still fixing his mouse, don't worry.
Okay, well, we'll have to see about that. They're trying to get super greedy and make sure they're able to secure all of those.
They heard the watcher
runes.
activation sound, so they know about him being around.
Should still just be a 2 for 2.
We'll be able to walk out just in time. So, no first blood yet, at least. We're going to have to wait for that one a bit longer. Let's see how Mr. I Love to Buy Back goes up against one of the most notorious mid laners in Dota history. It is Sumail with the Monkey King.
Is he famous or infamous at this stage? Because he is certainly... He's had a share of controversy, but you can't deny the talent coming through from this man.
Whoops.
Also, really clever little play, both to... I don't think it was intentional, actually, to get the D-Ward off on that Observer. They just wanted to block up the camp, making sure that there was no way for Beastmaster to be making up a bunch of stacks, because you've got Beastmaster, who, again, is kind of forced to go into this Wild Axes build, so he wants to be taking stacks. And you've also got a Medusa that you're playing around with. So they sentry blocked up the hard camp. It was eventually unblocked, but it just ended up getting them a free Observer Ward. So a little bit of extra value coming there.
This support battle might be the death of one. GH and Isla, the blood grenade flies out, and Isla knows if he throws it, he's dead. He'll pop his magic wand. GH missing the blast. And there's a chance for this Mortar to still find an opening, but that's 200 HP has to fight against, and GH shows up the dead shots there too. And it's just a real Wild West battle between these two, but they will walk away from each other's. Call it a day for now. Be sure, or be guaranteed, that duel, that will happen again at some point.
Oh, for sure. And they're just looking to try and put a little bit of that extra pressure onto Russell, make sure he's not able to get a few of those range creeps, quick pickups, although GH, he might have gone a little bit too deep.
There we go. Russell getting the first blood on the board. GH being slightly out of position. And the boys have been banterous already in the lobby chat, in the draft chat, and the tips will take it from there.
Isla as well, able to get the block off onto the small camp, so very good job making sure that he lives, juking out GH when he went for that first blood attempt previously, landing the perfect dead shot, making sure to get the D-Ward off. Very, very nicely done across the board. The man is not just an off-laner.
So got this Jordanian safe lane with Nagato and Taz. We're going to be really tested with this fresh Nigma off-lane duo of Noob and Omar. Interesting to see how they start things off, because Doom's still holding a value point into both either the Devour or the Scorched Earth. He started with Infernal Blade, because there was a lot of early harass there with the Elder Titan being involved. Now that his camps are out of action, he doesn't really get a lot of benefit from that Astral Spirit. But Medusa's mana pool is also pretty limited, so you gotta look for your timings here, as Omar is gonna be forced away for now. Nagato could look for that second kill. He's got it. Mansaf up by 2 kills now.
Nicely done. I was a little bit confused as to why they hadn't put any points into the Scorched Earth yet, just purely because that 3-minute mark was coming up, right? So if you use the Scorched Earth, A, you put some pressure on, B, you kind of push the lane out a little bit, and you secure that Lotus pool for yourself and your team, and probably a death to Omar doesn't happen there. So it's a little way for them to start off here on Mansaf.
Just to talk about how important of a resource the Lotus is at the 3 and the 6-minute marks. Mostly the 3-minute one just seems to be the difference between life and death, that one single consumable.
For sure, and I mean, just have a look at how poor I Love to Buyback is having to play in this lane. I mean, he's going up against Sumail, who, unfortunately for him, got the boots of speed delivered to his backpack, so he's not going to be able to match the movement speed, but I Love to Buyback got boots of speed delivered first before, that's actually a pretty deep dive, before the bottle, just because you can't really just look to contest Sumail in a 1v1 situation.
Russell, access for the kill. Okay, he's going to be able to escape. Now Rocket's dropped there, but yeah, that was a very deep dive indeed.
I mean, this mid lane is getting crushed by Sumail. Yeah, it's already a 1k net worth lead.
Just getting back to that mid matchup indeed. Like, he's not even getting the possibility of doing those lane pulling shenanigans, of grabbing the creep wave, trying to get it between his T1 or T2, because Sumail is on point. He has tabs on this guy, and he just hammers down this Void Spirit to get his first kill in the mid lane. So he's not only leading in CS, and now leading in kills too. And it's just this Monkey King is just going to get out of hands really quickly.
And the worst part of it all is that Sentry Ward that they use to de-ward the...
Going on the Medusa as well. Oh, Taz in huge trouble. Does have the big stick there, but GH rotating in. Looks like that's going to be the end for the Medusa. Dodging the blast to take down Omar first. But they'll still get the kill. Can they get Nagato? One more blast from GH. Does have a lot of movement speed as a Pugna, actually sharing that movement speed with the Elder Titan. Cannot quite find where he went, but Medusa down.
Medusa down. Wave being pulled a little bit here by GH as well, making sure that there's the potential of that siege creep to just start hitting into the tower. They really want to open this map up and enable themselves to go for a few more frequent plays onto Taz, disrupt that farm. They realize that it's a good Medusa game so far, and that's why
he's going to need
so much
backup.
emphasis.
They don't even have a teleport available from somebody else, except maybe this Morta might be enough to fend off the attackers. Medusa's mana has been dropped dangerously low there by Omar. Mana draining away. Gotta wait for their spells to come back up. There's the ice armor for Doom. Getting that extra armor bonus helps them go for these dives.
Just, again, wisely using the siege creep, right, for a little bit of that extra tankability, enabling them to dive right underneath the tower, realizing that it'll take just that much longer for the creep wave to go down.
They're diving mid. Trying to get the jump on the Void Spirit here, as Pugna has already moved in here. Straight from the top lane to mid. Boundless Strike already used up, but this Void Spirit's got no escape out of this one, and the misery continues.
It's such a great last pick overall by Sumail, right? Going for this Monkey King, something that he's no stranger to in recent times, and it's all the Nagato can do just to try and slow things down a little bit, but they're doing a great job of just tanking up this tower as well on Sumail, making sure the creep wave is keeping that siege creep alive, and occasionally even throwing in a couple of nether blasts there. Will GH be able to yoink away this Wisdom Rune as well is the other thing that I'm considering. It's going to be mindful of the creep wave being right there, and it looks like Russell is going to be in prime position to make sure that that Wisdom Rune is secured.
Russell's going to have to amp up that farm ASAP, knowing that this Void Spirit's already struggling, and Medusa's going to be falling back into the jungle. If your timings get delayed because of the aggression from Nigma, like you're just going to lose control of the map, and then you won't be able to farm, and you're going to get way too far back when you finally hit those item timings. Taz being chased by Noob. Omar also following up. Nagato does have the spirit here to at least isolate them with the stomp. Sumail has rotated, and so is Isla. That will take down Omar. Sumail already loading up a couple charges up off of Nagato, but this Doom has to run away. There's your Jingu Mastery stacks up, and Miracle, the one you needed for the rotation, makes it work perfectly. The bait pays off. Noob survives. Taz down.
I was a little bit worried for Sumail. He was hitting into that that mana shield, right? So he wasn't actually life-stealing anything. I thought he was in danger of going down, but yeah, perfect rotation coming through from Miracle at the exact time as needed, just to be able to confirm that kill. And once again, Medusa being the main target for them right now. They've dumpstered in the lane. I love to buy back. He's only just hit up onto his level 6, so wasn't really in a position to make any sort of rotation that would have had any kind of impact.
Yeah, I think, okay, actually fighting down in mid, actually. So they're going to be chasing Omar for a bit. Nagato, with the help of I Love Buyback, looking for his first kill. He'll get it. Won't be able to get a second one, though, without a point in Aether Remnant. Can't hold GH long enough. Nagato to help him out. I just want to talk about this dire top ward next to the T1 tower. Isla placed it down here in the lane instead of having the opportunity to walk up to the gate, which could have maybe prevented Miracle from getting a free rotation. And, of course, it was a hectic fight, but...
Just keeping an eye on Taz. He's not quite yet level 6 and doesn't have that ability to be able to protect himself if Noob just runs at him and dooms him.
Now didn't get the calling to land on Sumail, so he just got a free Boundless strike off. The Doom is also on the Medusa. I Love to buy back, going to be fighting back as well, but the Mischief going to be used by Sumail, dodging some of that damage that doesn't actually even connect on him. The roar comes out from Russell, connecting onto Sumail, looking for the Monkey King kill to get it, but Miracle, he does have the secondary strikes, and they will be really slow. Taz also running out of HP, does get the wand off, and the Lotus at least a little bit there for some healing. Just not quite enough as Miracle runs him down. Isla's going to be the next target. Blood Grenade not connecting onto Russell. Noob going to be fighting under the tower. Just get the Hex out, Omar. Beast is completely spent on resources, and this Void Spirit not feeling too healthy either. Miracle, huge movement speed. Oh, the Decrepify with the Rocket Barrage. And they're giving him that extra HP. The rocket's flying all the way in. Omar, can he get close enough? He's tempted to dive, but like it's not going to be the call in the end as he has to retreat. Medusa hitting the backline.
They're still
get the gyrocopter stolen, but GH low on HP. Russell on the chase. He's going to get hit by the GH ulti there, regenerating for a bit. Forcing him away. The dead shot's there, and the kill for Taz with the right click connecting as Sumail was thinking about a Wukong's command here. Omar missing the stun. Doesn't connect on Nagato. Does get the bouncer to connect onto Isla. This fight's been going on for so long, and they've never left. Nigma taking more kills. Taz dropping low, out of mana. Medusa to fall, and now Russell under the tower. Rocket's gonna fly into him. Nagato trying to turn things around with the stomp on 2, and Sumail continues to fight back. ET goes down to the grave. Russell's gonna fall as he's also down. Miracle will live with 13 HP. And rightfully, the laughs from Russell. What a fight. What a fight in the end. But it's all got Nigma written on top of it. It's a team wipe. And even more than that.
There's 3 separate fight recaps. That one doesn't cover the full extent of the team fight. That was the longest lasting team fight that I can remember in quite some time. 10 heroes on the top side of the map. No one really caring for farm, and I feel like that's a bit of a mistake when you're Team Mansaf, right? You're wanting this Beastmaster to be able to get into that drums as quickly as possible. You want to be playing around some of these siege creeps that can be used to hit into a few of the towers and force some of the aggression to be on the Nigma Galaxy side of the map rather than just constantly trying to defend Taz, who, I mean, he's public enemy #1 right now. 4 deaths in a row for not too many kills on Mansaf's end, so it's a little bit of a concern that he's not even level 7 yet, and you've got Miracle who's almost level 10.
Such a cascade of spells trying to be thrown on top of that Doom, but they all landed at separate times. So Doom was able to get away from harm. Otherwise he would have surely died with that full nuke. It was like 3 to 4 spells. Like half of them missed.
I think that's Diffusal Blade actually coming up for Sumail as well, so it'll be a 12-minute Diffusal Blade. Miracle, he's 900 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter as well, so you've hit some really key timings right now on Nigma Galaxy, and they just got to keep the tempo going. Again, Pugna's the one doing the majority of this tower damage, just backing up Miracle, throwing in another blast every now and then. And they're taking away some of the farm, the quote-unquote safe farm that Mansaf are wanting to have.
And there's really nothing that can stop them right now, right? Because what was going on about Mansaf's timings, that they need to hit them pretty early. Them losing that previous fight might have cost them too much. that probably was the one where you could still keep the game somewhat even and in your control. And now it's fully dictated by Nigma because that Ags is too far away for Russell.
Way too far away. I mean, especially when you consider how relative some of these timings are coming up, right? This is what I was talking about when I said, I don't know if constantly moving up towards top, TPing time after time after time is going to be impactful as they get another kill for free. And even just have a look at the vision from Mansaf. They have placed pretty much all of their wards up on this top side of the map, which means that Nigma Galaxy, they have the freedom to just move in onto the bottom side, and there just isn't enough wards in stock for them to protect themselves.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they even know about all of this defensive warding that is done for the Medusa. They're suspecting that most likely it is, but they don't even want to play that half of the map, so playing accordingly. Galaxy contesting the Ancient stack as well. Russell is nearby. So gonna have to start spamming those axes. It might take a bit too long. Gyrocopter's got another flat cannon ready.
Another 5v5 maybe?
Potentially. Isla's already stunned at the back. Elder Titan standing far away. He's keeping a vision with the Astral Spirit. But they've already done their job. The stack has been cleaned up. Medusa also forced their ulti in the top lane as Noob was threatening this Medusa a bit.
With the drums, yeah. I mean, you basically have to do it at that stage, and with that Observer Ward as well, knows exactly where he's trying to pick up that little bit of extra farm. But for now, I'd say if the game does slow down a little bit, Mansaf are going to be all too happy about that. Getting another Wisdom Rune means that Russell brings himself up to level 10.
Stun locked, bursted, deleted. Only 1,000 HP on this hero. Easy kill.
Still a long time away from being able to get into that Aghanim Scepter. You know, we see some of the... If you're having a really good game on that Void Spirit, 14, 15-minute Aghanim Scepter isn't out of the question, but we've reached that time and he hasn't even got one component for it, so it is a uphill battle for him behind the Lion in terms of net worth right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at he's only got items bought from the laning stage in his inventory. Not even the first component, as he mentioned, that Ags... the two Ags on the team are just going to be pushed back so far. You need Medusa also with that Manta style. I like that Taz has queued up a casual Windlace on this Medusa too. Wonder if he's going to buy it or not, but that could be a very useful item. Always, if you have an empty inventory slot, I'm a big Windlace enjoyer. They already have one on the ET. He's building the drums out of it, and then Russell has the other. He's going to get caught with a stun from Sumail. Wukong sent under the tower. And maybe the Wukong soldiers will finish him off. 200 HP remains. Sumail will have to let go of this kill attempt.
And they're actually going to be able to get another kill onto the Void Spirit. This is just with Noob on his own as well. Will this result in a kill going back the other way? Taz has to be a little careful, though. It doesn't have the greatest amount of mana to be able to play around with, and you know that Simian Stride could mean that Sumail is closing in.
Look at Sumail just charging as fast as possible to the top lane. He knows he's got this one in the bag, and he will jump straight on top of the Medusa. Taz will be history here. Diffusal slowed as well. Nowhere to run. Simian striding all the way from the bot lane straight to top. Medusa thought, I can farm another wave. No, you cannot.
I'm safe onto my tier 2 tower. No. That's not the case. Not when you're going up against the Simian Stride and how well he did in the laning phase. I have damage as well. Although it doesn't seem like Sumail's happy with that. He's saying, you know what, GS, you look to try and take that one. We don't want to even give them a chance to be able to get any sort of tower control across the map. Just keep them constrained into this very small area. Give them about 5 camps total across the entire map to farm, because then you need to get a little creative like Russell's doing right now. He's farming behind the tier 1 tower on the bottom side of the map during nighttime, which is the right time to be able to make this sort of play, because you're just a little bit less likely to get caught out, and they desperately need that Aghanim Scepter, and they desperately need his level 12 as well, just so that he can put himself into the middle of these team fights.
They spot Noob being pretty close, but it does look like they maybe gave away a ward position, which Omar reads correctly. He blinks 2 meters to the left, and he gets the finger off as well, and I love to buy back. I think he only wanted to dodge the remnants and keep fighting. That's why it might have looked a little bit weird, but that was fully in Omar's plans.
He might love to buy back, but if he does, he's going to be behind not only the Lion, but the Pugna as well, so he needs to hold on to any shred of net worth that he's got so far as Sumail cleans up another kill, 7, 1, and 8. for him on the Monkey King, and he's just keeping this pressure going. Even just looking to try and snipe some couriers as well, so even that Aghanim Scepter is going to be a little bit longer for Russell. He's going to need to put himself in harm's way to try and pick it up.
Yeah, they're just... You could just say it, like, they're just so good. They're just too good on the side of Nigma here. Mansaf, like, with the heroes that they drafted, they were pretty timing dependent on getting particular items ready. And now I feel like they've missed the most efficient, like, critical mass window of those items. Drums of Slum especially is a one where you look for early Roshans and an early team fight and just, you know, you start to rapidly farm the map. But he hasn't been allowed to do so. Void Spirit struggling to finish that Aghanims. He's got one component now. The last time we did a check up on I Love to Buyback, that was about 2 minutes ago, and he didn't even have the first one yet. They're trying to get to this Doom. That could be a possibility, but that's a wraparound. Sumail is right on top of him. They got the catch on the Beastmaster. Miracle will get him as Beast is completely out of position. Noob. Does he have an... Oh, he doesn't have another blink available. Sumail trying to catch up as well. Diffusal slow still there. The Remnant's thrown in already. Isla's used his dead shot, so Sumail sees he can go in deep, but he's going to need the backup. Omar only gets a stun on one. Sumail stuns away with the shard. He disappears. He knows. He knows too much.
Nice try there by Noob, trying to cut the middle of those two Echo Stomp circles, but
for showing the Void's location, he's doomed up. Noob and Omar will finish him off. He doesn't get more aggressive than a ward like this.
All right, I think the next fight is the one. It's the sort of thing that they need to try and take a team fight right now and try and make something happen, because before his death, he was able to secure the Aghanim Scepter. The Doom isn't available, so you've got that lifesteal available to you on the Beastmaster. He's even got the Vampire Fangs as well, buffing up that lifesteal even further. So that's not the sort of thing that you could have afforded to happen. You needed to just group up, 4-man smoke, maybe use the Medusa as a little bit of bait, but instead they're just walking in and I was about to say getting picked off one by one, but looks like Isla's going to be able to get away with his life.
Can we just discuss the 7 sentries on the dire side of the map? It looks like an actual plus sign, the one starting from the top and down.
It's pretty scary to just feel like they're everywhere, and that's the power of the Monkey King.
Isla gonna be nuked by GH. GH is somehow surviving all of this damage and almost gets out. Not quite, though. Isla's so low on HP, that Primal Spring will be the death of him. Monkey King soaking up silences. He can't get out of this one. Taz is able to fight back, push him away. Also on the other side, there's Russell chased by a rocket, and Miracle will finish him off. Nagato on the run. Taz, this Medusa's gonna have to try and run as fast as possible. Omar just a couple pixels away from landing that stun. Does Sumail get his? Well, this time they will respect the T2 tower.
I think they're happy enough with getting 2 cores in exchange for just 1 support at the end of the day. That was with that Primal Roar. They had pretty much the most ideal sort of fight with no Doom being available, getting the Primal Roar onto the Doom, but he actually had picked up the regen rune previously, so all he had to do was back up with that insane movement speed that he has, devouring the cup guys, so he's got plenty of speed aura, and yeah, was able to just rejoin the team fight, give Miracle the speed that he needed to be able to just pick off the rest of the team.
Now it's going to be a Tormentor, a Shard, going to be given away for Nigma Galaxy. Call down, suspecting that they might fight this one. Which is a good preemptive ulti, just a protective one. Omar, and again with Sumail making plays happen onto the Elder Titan. They'll find a kill. Sumail slows down the Morta with that fully built Disperser. Has that movement speed to go in, but Wukong's is more of another zoning ulti. Now they mass TP top, and you know who they're going after.
At least they've got vision of it this time, though. Ward is down.
He's still going.
Be using Taz as a little bit of bait.
Oh, what a beautiful stun too. The illusions pop there from the Medusa, but catches everybody, and that Doom will finish him off. Noob, though, 30 HP.
Surely.
No. Not even that.
All right.
Not even that. But Sumail will drop at least with Russell showing up for the Roar, and with that Drums of Slom, they are losing damage. They're losing HP on their tower, though, as Miracle's sieging this tier 3. And he will easily fend off Russell.
There as well. Yeah. Might look to just pop down another ward.
Up the cliff. Noob finally hunted down in the top lane. A lot of movements on the map.
I think both teams are having a pretty good time with this game. Even though it is it's a stomp. Let's not twist words here. It's exactly what's happening, but you can see that they're just having a good time with it.
Yeah.
And this is the sort of Dota that we've come to expect from the MESWA region, right? Like just all in, fight, and it's the most exciting Dota in my eyes.
It's pretty awesome though, you know, like they're having a great time above of like banter where people just get salty. I think like when we're talking about like tier 1 scene, I know we're staring at the MESWA region teams in particular, but you know, it's a part of the game, right? I mean, you're a defender of the. I mean, we're all a defender of good chats. You need to have something on the line, right? This is just a qualifier though, so I think it's more laid back.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of bants. I'm looking for any sort of window for MESWA to come back here, T. And I mean, you are only 1,000 gold short of being able to pick up that Aghanim Scepter on I Love to Buy Back.
Soon TM.
For any sort of opportunity. Maybe just got like 1.5 creep waves in this top side, so not the worst. But have a look at who's hunting him. It's Samael with that amp damage rune. He wants to be able to quickly pick him off before he can even go through the twin gate.
They got the roar up though, and the turnaround, Sumail will go down. Russell will get a lot of gold out of this one, and of course the Doom as well. Nicely played with Isla to help out, secure these kills. They will lose I Love to Buy Back, but at least this Beastmaster is
just from
popping
the
off.
assists there. Yeah, you got a little bit of assist gold coming through from that, so was better off than when he started. And yeah, Russell being able to clean up a couple of those kills as well is really nice, because now he can afford to go into the BKB and potentially some auras that are going to buff up the rest of his team.
He did get up to level 16, which is the same as the Doom and the Monkey King now, so Miracle's lone experience lead with all those XP runes that they've been giving to this hero and all the kills. Clean 8-0-5 game. Russell's not quite the same type of damage dealer, but in one quick burst, the Beastmaster might just be a tad bit stronger still around this time of the game. But now, an Aegis will protect Miracle's life.
Especially with the beast mode facet that he's chosen to go for as well, right? It's just a lot of damage, able to be amped up in really quick fashion. And you got to remember as well that he's playing along with an Elder Titan, so he hasn't even got many points into the natural order. It's just 2 at this point. So all Nagato needs to do is throw out that Astral Spirit. Doesn't even need to put his body on the line, and that's going to do a power of work in terms of amping up what both the Void Spirit and the Beastmaster are able to do. Speaking of the Void Spirit, he's been able to pick up that Aghanim Scepter, so I wonder if they're going to go for some sort of play here, trying to make the most of that, pick off a couple of supports and just slow down this high ground push. But if I'm Nigma Galaxy, I don't really see the point anymore of splitting up all that much. You can just look to group up together, ball up, and try and take a successful team fight as a team. That's exactly what they're doing.
See if you can hold off this push somehow. Not going to be an easy task with that Aegis, and now the BKB 9 seconds as well on Miracle's inventory. Medusa hasn't quite finished his butterfly. Not too far off of it either.
He's trying to get up onto that level 18 on Russell, trying to get into that BKB, but it's just a question of how much can you give up before you just need to cut your losses and come back and defend. You're going to lose 1 lane of racks minimum.
Like, is 2 going to be too much? Are you TPing back to defend the final lane? Usually the Medusa's the one that's not in the base, you know? Like, that's the one who's probably farming around the map, but...
Ooh, she's got to be careful with that courier. It's got the last piece of a butterfly on it, and...
1 HP.
Got it down to 1 HP, yep. So, she's been able to pick that one up. That would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, if we're trying to hold on to some kind of... I wouldn't say win conditions, but conditions to keep the game running. That would absolutely be one. Now the butterfly is delivered. But is it enough? 21,000 gold behind still. Some would say it's an impossible task. I Love to Buy Back has to do something to get their attention. Isla and Russell jumping the backline. Sumail going to be dropping down to half HP, but it's not going to be enough with the roar. Miracle will maybe lose that Aegis. He runs into the Earth Splitter, so guarantees that he will lose it. But the Doom is connected onto the Medusa, pops the Manta, and there's the dead shot to force the Doom away. Omar doesn't quite get the finger off, and there's also the jump in from I Love to Buy Back. He'll be smacked down by Sumail with the Boundless Strike. And I think now with these heroes down, with their ultis down, I don't think they can hold their high ground anymore. Isla's going to fall as well with Noob and Omar going to hunt him down.
There's really not much that they could do. They've popped everything.
Yeah.
You know, even when they come back up, you're not going to have the Roar. You're not going to have the Stone Gaze. Void Spirit, he's doing his damnedest, but still sitting 8th on net worth right now, and he's suffering in a big way. This is going to be mega creeps prior to the 30-minute mark, and it's just going to be a little bit too much for them to handle. Really clean, solid performance from Nigma Galaxy, playing that fast Dota that we've come to expect from them.
Yeah, nothing taken away from this Void Spirit, of course. I mean, you had to play the lane versus the king, so what can you do? WCYD.
True. They're going for this. I was about to say they're going to go for a full-on wraparound, but no. Noob just wants to be a little bit greedy, get that Wisdom Rune, bring himself up to the level 18. Cooldown on the Doom itself. I wonder if they can go for like a bit of a dive through the bottom lane, which is already.
If Taz is that deep, that could be an opening. It just requires Omar to be around. He's waiting for his time. Not straight in as that Manta's still up on the Dusa. Ward's placed down on the ground. There goes Omar. Goes for the instant hex onto the ET. Follows up stun. Nice stun on 2 as well. And I think that's going to be taking the fight out of Mansaf. With Isla and Isla the buyback gone, that is the end of game number 1.
Dominance. That's all that is. That is just clean from minute 0 to minute 28.42. I mean, Nigma Galaxy just look at another level in this region, and I mean, it shows. They are able to make it work with like a first pick gyrocopter. So
right, because that showed what the direction of the game is going to be. Now I feel like lineups are a bit more tankier than last time.
They are, but they're also going up against probably an even stronger pushing lineup, right? You've got an Enchantress now, you've got a Shadow Fiend. So as soon as that level 15 comes up online for Miracle, I'm worried about where Mansaf is going to have space to even farm across the map. And I mentioned, like, if you're going to pick this Earth Spirit early on, it might be for comfort, but this Monkey King has come out once again. And I feel like Samael is going to have just an easy time as he did against the Void Spirit in game number 1.
Let's see what the Mansaf boys are up to. Smoking up to the other side here. But deactivating the Watcher, that will give them the information. And now, Nigma go for a smoke of their own. It's going to be a bit of a delayed one. But that could allow them to fight at the 0-second timer. They see Isla right next to the tower. He's trying to get info on that ward.
30 seconds.
Walk up far enough.
But Nigma is not even nearby. They could have maybe jumped Isla if they had the opportunity for it. Since they're on the dire triangle right now. I'll let the buyback and Russell are not even interested. They're just going all the way back to base.
Just trying to see as well, like, any sort of avenue whenever this... I doubt Isla's going to be leaving the lane all that much to be able to make up stacks, just because it's only really Dragon Knight that's going to be able to claim them. But that ward just gives you so many different options to be able to instantly punish whenever you see, the support leave the lane. One that Isla is walking past right now. So we'll see if they do indeed look to try and punish that with GH and Miracle. Such a formidable duo, regardless of the heroes. They've got a really good connection that they've cultivated over the years. But I mean, now you take heroes into the equation as well, an Enchantress and a Shadow Fiend. Like, what could be more scary in this year of Dota?
Absolutely. Can we talk about this again, about a ward? Specifically in the mid lane, which was the one where they saw Isla going in for the ward, which means that since they got the D ward out here, this ward only shows up till this point, and the tower aggro range is right there. So it's a really close pixel accurate spot. And the tower was never hitting him, so he's like, they don't have a ward here. But now he knows it is there. So that also helps the Earth Spirit locate where is that vision. Just go for a quick kick there, kicking Sumail under the tower. But, like small little pixel differences make the world. Like, that's the world of Dota that we play.
I don't think this lane's going to go any better than it did last game, T. It's a bullying from the very beginning, and even if he was to buy up a sentry ward for himself, now that he knows where that observer ward is, I don't think he's going to get the space or the time to be able to move forward and try and get that super valuable experience coming through as the neutral creep actually gets the deny onto GH, not giving up his life for free.
Yeah, that's the first metamorph used and doesn't credit them a kill. But that does mean Ench is going to be away from the lane for a while. Russell casts a reflection, misses, doesn't connect onto Miracle. top lane has been calm so far. Both Taz and Noob farming away. We saw the quick highlight there of the soul fragment, which means that conjure images are going to cost HP instead of mana. One good way to get your Sunder off by spawning images or illusions.
Let's get yourself nice and low.
But you can't have both, right? You can't have the condemned path.
Would be nice. Taz might be in a little bit of danger though, as Noob looking to try and chase him down with that Scorched Earth and the Blood Grenade, although Omar dropping a little on himself.
Nicely placed the calling there as well to make sure he's going to get killed either by the silence or their right clicks alone. So yeah, first blood for the Muerta. And that means that he's finished his Null Talisman. Will be nice to get that Mana region up and running. Gonna need a lot of spell spamming here. Though I wonder for Noob, again, the camps are blocked. There's no creep for him to devour. He's not even putting a point in it yet.
See, I'm just trying his best to secure any sort of experience for this lane, realizing how important it is to get off to a good start with this game.
Yeah, bottom fighting as well. There's the Lotus, and the 3-minute casualties are happening. Isla does get himself the Lotus, but doesn't get the pop it in time. And even if he did, he'd still be sealed. So yeah, you can eat a creep at the top lane of the Doom, but then you have this Harpy Stormcrafter on the other end hurting the TB and the Marcy. So good luck. You could maybe pair up 2 Chain Lightnings and, you know, use them at the same time on your opponent. Nice 280 extra damage for your early game if you pair them both up.
A lot of big items coming out here for Omar. I think he's finished up an entire Null Talisman for himself. He's got plenty of regen coming through, and nice hero. It's said by the CM. There's a reason this hero isn't picked all that much. You know, the lane dominance isn't quite there. You need to be so heavily invested into getting a lot of these early kills, and it does mean that you end up spending a lot of net worth on stuff like mangoes and things of that nature. So
it's just for your real estate.
Too well.
For one side, not for the other. They feel like they've been scammed in this lane versus that Muerta. So Doom is taking control over the lane. Taz is just watching his wave getting killed in front of the T1 tower, or maybe even under the T1 tower. While I'll have to buy back, he's trying to get the lane pull, but Sumail will allow this to happen. Even if he was late for that contest, he'll recognize that, okay, maybe I can be a bit merciful to my opponent. That's obviously what he's thinking.
Maybe, I don't know. Sumail doesn't seem like the type to have too much mercy for his opponents, and love to buy back. He's going to get a very valuable flag bearer creep because man is quite poor once again, basically rivaling the support Muerta after being once again feels like directly lane counted.
Yeah, and he wants to go for the Vessel build too, so even getting to that urn is not going to be a sub 6 minute, which would allow you to make that first under 6 rotation, but Miracle and GH will finish off Isla and Russell, both down at the bot lane. SF survives and getting some lasting presence stacks, but unfortunately not level 15 yet to take that T1 tower. Can do some damage to it though.
A lot of damage coming through as well, even just with that Satyr Mind Stealer with the mana aura, making sure that Miracle is constantly able to spam out those Shattered Razors, and now they're level 3 as well. So we were talking about before the strength of having even just the Enchantress going up against this TB. Well, you've got the SF as well, who's going to be pumping out a ton of damage. That, yeah,
you have all exits basically closed out. A Hellbear is ready to march under the tower. I'll have the buyback knows I'm in danger.
They might be waiting for him to just commit for one of these.
They're going for Doom at the same time, actually, in the top lane, but that's a tanky target. Can they kill him? They're chasing the Doom here. Another jump from Isla, and he gets his face boots. Is it enough to take him away from harm? No, Nagato secures him, and while that whole mid setup on the Earth Spirit never takes place, they will lose their Doom for it.
They will. He was so close to getting away as well. Turning around, throwing the hurl boulder, probably would have still resulted in him dying, but been just doing a clever little play here with the Doomling, right? Keeping the creep wave alive for now, and looks like he'll be able to TP back and get the majority of it at this tier 2 tower. So nice and safe for Noob to be able to get on his own.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But they glyphed as well. That almost killed the wave from Noob.
He glyphed back the other way, actually helping him out a little bit there.
Sumail with the 80 rune, though, already hitting that mid T1 tower. I love the buyback, just watching as the Monkey King does whatever he wants. A second game in a row.
We're looking at these Wisdom Runes as well. Something that they're looking to try and claim for themselves. Isla, not sure if he's going to be able to... Well, he will actually yoink it away. Nicely done. Well worth the death.
Oh, the TP cancel, though. Might actually die.
Omar's
Omar's coming in. The slow is there. Noob's going to be closing out the exit. There's the dead shot. Marcy looking for the deny here, but won't be able to get it as the Ancients are just want to walk back to their own camp instead of hit him.
Double Wisdom Rune, though, that is pretty big value. You know, just having that freezing field. Yes, they have plenty ways to be able to cancel it out, whether it be, you know, a stomp from the Centaur, dead shot, calling, Requiem, even just the monkey stun. But just having that extra little bit of damage early on into these fights, especially if I Love to Buyback is able to just put the 1 point in the Geomagnetic Grip, get a silence off, and enable his team to really start inputting a lot of this damage.
GH is just being a bit of a nuisance to Taz. Sumail is also around here, but GH just wants to take the farm away from Taz and hoping that Ogre Smash connects. Sumail with Omar coming in. Full on stacks loaded up. Nice dodge there. He went for the Dragon Tail stun that caused Omar to miss his dead shot. But they did get the D ward off of the Twin Gate, meaning that if Miracle were to make a rotation with the Shadow Fiend, probably not needed since there's 4 of his teammates taking that tower on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Miracle doesn't really need to be involved this game all that much, right? All he needs to do is make sure that he gets that early farm, he prevents himself from dying, and gets onto that level 15 as quickly as possible. Even just going for the Mask of Madness as well, realizing that, you know what, I'm going to have a lot of damage coming my way, I just need to be confident that I've got the ability to dish it out going back the other way. And I feel like he should be feeling pretty confident, because he's got, what, 3 people that are going to be playing ahead of him in the Doom, the Enchantress, and the Monkey.
Oh, that's a easy missed rebound as well. I'll have to buy back body blocking GH. The kick into the toss. This is some real WWE action here. Wrestling moves at the best. They'll get a kill for Taz.
This will come in handy.
But they were hoping to get the Doom as well. They did have Magnetize.
The old Kurt Angle play.
Yeah, that was like sweet chin music into the suplex, right?
Mm-hmm. Suplex City.
Suplex City.
I think that's the urn, actually, as well, coming out for I Love to Buy Back off the back of that.
Rolls straight in. Didn't wait for the courier to pick it up, but he's going to get it delivered now. Now they just need the kill to happen. He's silenced for a very long time. He does actually get the Magnetize to continue, but he will lose his life. Russell does get the reflection on multiple heroes, but is it enough? The Monkey King will live. Taz dies to Noob. That's a solo kill with the drums and the Doom used. Sumail has it. He has stun in 1 second. And look at the CM just disappear.
Where's the creep wave? It's pretty damn close by. Miracle's hanging around. Wonder if he wants to put a little bit of damage into this tower. He's like, you know what? Elastic Presence. I've only got the 2 stacks of it. Back to farming.
Yeah, I need to farm. I need my levels. I need my items. The towers can wait.
Really feels like they've just fallen into the same trap as they did in the previous game, right? Like, the mid lane doesn't go well, which means that you need to commit so many people towards this to prevent it from being even worse, and it means that you're going to be sacrificing Taz a lot of the time, and, you know, he's getting dived solo, he's getting killed solo by Noob, and really just feels like Nigma Galaxy, they're on the same page with where everyone's priority needs to be.
And I think this game may be even worse in the sense that Russell doesn't have that big item timing to play towards. This is just a regularly scaling Terrorblade from your offlane position, which still builds into the same core as it used to be before. Just more focused on melee, more focused on damage, but doesn't really provide you that extra control, which has to come from the DK stun, the Marcy, the CM, and a mid that's already struggling. This ES doesn't live for very long as he rolls in.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe that mid-fight could have gone a little bit different if the supports were just level 6, but they were about half a level short, so no freezing field, no unleash available. They've got it now, but might be just a little bit too little too late. Already a 7k net worth lead for Nigma Galaxy at this point, but feels like with this smoke, they want to try and make something happen on this bottom side of the map with the ward that they've got up on the high ground, with TB and the Metamorphosis, with full wand charges, just trying to open up the map a little bit for themselves to be able to make some plays.
Yeah, just gotta hope you find someone, right? Because at this point, you're like, desperation starts to sneak in. We can't find anybody. Our smoke's running out. Where's the enemy?
I think not finding someone is okay, as long as Russell actually commits to pushing into this tower. You know, you got to make sure that there's a little bit of pressure coming in onto this to kind of force a reaction from Nigma Galaxy. I really like the wards that they've set up. There's one on the north side, one on the south side, and I love to buybacks covering the twin gates. So they should see anyone that tries to rotate in or TP. And yeah, this is the right sort of play that they need to be doing.
And there goes the DK jumped on here. Taz inside his own triangle is not safe. The Wukongs will be spent, but they will not be able to take the DK down. Just a quick reminder. And Nigma is here to play. GH TPing in bottom. They're bringing in the numbers. That's not a blink on the Doom, though. They're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and run them down. I think he might have spotted or caught a glimpse of the Earth Spirit as I'll have to buyback. Just rolls away.
But at least that's a trade, right? Like, you use a bunch of spells, you don't actually kill the DK. Sure, you might disrupt his farming a little bit, but you open up the map a little bit. And now they've got a tiny bit of extra space on the map to be able to pick up some farm. Maybe even just use the TB illusions to be able to do that. They're not strong enough with the innate, of course, the Dark Unity, if they're far away from the TB to be pushing into any more towers. But you've got the main one that is going to be, you know, stopping any sort of TPs to defend, just illusions for picking up some farm. So at least I feel like Russell is going to enable himself to get into that Manta style sometime shortly and be an actual factor this game.
Haven't really seen this Earth Spirit hit creeps for a while. He's at 33 last hits at 13 minutes. Really hurts his timings as well. 3,600 net worth. Last game, was it him or was it somebody else who was being overtaken by the Lion, right? Yeah.
Lion and the Ench.
Similar position just this game as well. Now Omar and GH safely smoking up on their side of the map. Once again, the target is the triangle. Sumail wants a part of this party.
I like the fact that you've got Muerta to be able to make this sort of play, right? Because there's plenty of magical damage coming through. You don't really care that much about the Dragon
Isla just shows up at the same time, but the silence hits both of them. Taz walks into another one, and he's taken down. Isla's gonna follow suit. Nagato's trying to turn things around. Silenced up as well. Dude, Omar silenced everyone with the calling, and they didn't get a single spell off.
It's pretty damn good on this hero, right? Doing not quite as much damage as Sumail just because of how damn farm this Monkey King is, especially with that fresh Diffusal Blade, but you know, as a position 4 Muerta to be dishing out 1250 damage to a Dragon Knight, you can feel incredibly happy with that. On top of, like you mentioned, the silence capabilities
Look
as
at
well.
the mass TPs on GH. Noob is there to give him the drum buff as well. This Ench is running at 400 movement speed away from harm. Omar on the side. Sumail's like, oh, action. Sniff, sniff. See if he can catch somebody here. He smells fighting. Omar takes the front. Another calling set down. Marcy silence, but finishes off Omar. Love to buy back as well. Joining in. The whole team is now here. Oh, Miracle, level 13, getting closer to level 15. You know what's going to happen when he hits that timing. This BKB is probably going to be finished at the same time. I love to buy back. Going to walk into GH. Sumail's right next to him, too. Get the jump on him. Oh, he just rolled away.
He did get a couple of own charges at least off the back of that, so we've gotten a little bit of additional damage coming through. It's going to be a bit more time for him to get into that
Solo
Spirit
kill?
Vessel just because... Hold on.
The,
Sumail in danger.
Oops, Hurricane didn't really do too much fight in mid as well. Yeah, they take down Sumail. CM ulti and Magnetize used for this one. Taz walks in, throws the stun on Omar. And there's going to be another one. Miracle loading off of the Requiem, though. It's going to hit everybody, and the raises do so much damage, but who's going to die? Is it even Taz? Armlet toggle coming through. Rolling onto Miracle. Russell there with the Sunder, and SF's going to be put into a very, very desperate position. Nagato, Miracle, both dead. That's a 3-for-1 for now. Can they get to GH as well? The slow's there, the roll in, and that is going to be a 4th kill. And where has this Mansaf been? And this one just, you know, a close quarters fight. That Requiem could have easily killed 4 people, but instead, it's just the CM that they lose.
And that was just off the Death Requiem as well. Wasn't even part of the actual Requiem itself. So it just goes to show how important Sumail is to a lot of these team fights, right? If he's in there on the front lines, able to get a bunch of those Jingus up and, you know, bound the strike onto multiple, which he should quite soon. He's only 200 gold away from the Aghanim shot. Never mind. It's coming to him on the courier right now. Like, he wants to be the one initiating, not the one getting initiated on. So kudos to Mansaf for being able to get that initiation off. Good use of the freezing field plus level 4 frostbite, but I'm not sure if they're going to get many more opportunities to make a play like that happen.
I love the buyback. Has a TP available and a haste in his bottle. He could TP to this fight. Well, let's see what Nigma wants to do with it. GH walking around. Sumail waiting at the trees once again.
He's got the Spirit Vessel as well. This actually isn't a bad fight at all.
So they're just going to let that tower go. Isla with the deny. They're not safe yet, though. Still moving around in the area. Isla walks into Noob and Omar. The silence is there. Sumail with the Wukongs wants to make sure that at least this Marcy falls. And the Whirlwind also, the Hurricane, and the double Hurricane.
Double.
As they push the Crystal Maiden into the loving arms of Sumail.
Pops the freezing field for about 0.1 seconds, so that's on cooldown as well. No mana completely drained in addition to the health, and it just goes to show how easy it is when you're able to get that initial jump there with the Monkey King dishing out the vast majority of the damage in those fights. 1800 there for Sumail.
Yeah, note for your pubs. Just draft Doom and Enchantress together. You're bound to get somebody
Double
out of
Hurricane.
position.
And here we go. I mean, you've got the Grove Bow now, you've got level 15, you've got the BKB on the Shadow Fiend. Feels like he's just going to take a few more of these stacks and then just go and join the rest of the boys, take out some of these tier 2 towers.
Well, over Protective Wisps or not, that's still an Enchantress, even if the vessel's there. I'll have to buy back. Look at the stun connection. Isla also drops his ulti on the Monkey King. Sumail
on the DK.
Surviving for now. Still has the stick charges as well. Russell coming in as well, and they'll make sure they take him down, but the DK will die simultaneously. Russell on the chase. Metamorph is available. He'll pop it. Miracle loading up the Requiem, waiting for them to get a bit closer. But those TV illusions will give away his position. Omar on the run. Roll coming in again. Not quite on the mark, but kicks Omar back. Pierce the veil. Moments immunity. Hurricane to safety.
I don't think Earth Spirit felt overly confident in going on to anyone except the Muerta at that point. Magnetize already being used. Just was way too dangerous for them to look to try and make any ambitious moves forward. Russell still in a pretty decent position to potentially look to try and put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower, but with those ultimates being on cooldown, just feels like they're lacking that oomph that they need to really try and take the convincing team fight victory.
You know what's pretty cool, actually, with the Devil's Bargain that Nigma Galaxy's doing? And this is, again, Noob and actually GH pairing up. Noob and Omar pairing up. So your drum charges are almost out. You have Devil's Bargain to sell it, and Omar has lined up a new set of drums. Obviously, the Doom could just buy another drum, sure, refresh the charges, but if Morta really wants to get that item in his inventory, look at Boots of Bearing later on for the game, opens up for Doom to do something else by selling that drum away. Yeah,
sure. Can look to try and get into, I don't know, an earlier Shock-Terrain core, perhaps. Maybe they're feeling like there's a little bit too much magic damage coming through, especially from that Magnetize, so it could be a pipe option coming through from Noob.
They really want the auras. Can definitely do it with this Doom and his facet choice, but the blink money is now there. He's going to instantly buy it. Maybe swapping that Hurricane towards a War Stomp. Look for that blink stun.
Pretty quick Roshan, I feel. Do they know that it's going on?
And they're maybe a bit oblivious to this. It's a pretty fast Roche with Orb of Corrosion and the presence of the Dark Lord combined.
Yeah, oblivious or just happy enough to finally have about 30 seconds of free space to fuck, because it's still looking kind of rough for this Earth Spirit, right? He's got at least one component towards that BKB to enable himself to really commit into the center of a lot of these team fights. He's desperately trying to get into that level 12 as well to double the damage coming through from the Magnetize, as poor Nagato ends up dying, but he gets a negative shot for his
It's always like this. I mean, when have we seen someone die to Tormentor not get the shard? Is it like hard-coded into the game that the person who dies to it gets it? The first one at least? At least that's the vibe I'm picking off here. But hey, it's for the right person, right? Sacrifice something, you get some goodies.
They do have a decent amount of unavoidable damage as well, so that Crystal Clone should be popping fairly frequently in these team fights.
That is true. That could be a very valuable shard coming out. Probably people have been saying like one of the best shards in the game. That is the CM shard.
I still think it's super value. I mean, you can use it to push out creep waves, even just use it in a similar way to what Nigma Galaxy have been doing with the Hurricane creeps. Just that little bit of an extra push.
Earth Spirits, he's got no chance. He's got no way out of
What's
this
he doing up there? Magnetize?
Trying to fight this one. Force out the BKB from Noob, but he will die to the Scorched Earth tick from Noob. He's done his job. While that is done, they will lose a tier 2 tower in the top lane. Not having the Magnetize for 75 seconds, so meaning when he's up, that's a 40-second downtime. Big
Just
team fight ulti
these
missing.
little plays as well. Look at this with the Hellbear Smasher, dragging the creep wave into Miracle, making sure to make him even stronger. Means that the creep wave is going to be right here as well to be able to just enable Miracle to continue the siege, and this tower is not going to last too long at all. Yeah, and they're just taking a team fight while this all happens.
Let's see what they can do here. Isla's dropped low already. Taken out. Russell's just watching on the sidelines as his friend's getting murdered in the trees.
They're legit just leaving Miracle on his own to take towers. It's kind of crazy that he's got the ability to do this as the TB Illusion plays Ring Around the Rosie.
Yep. Realistically,
feels like a little bit of a foregone conclusion, the outcome of this game. They're not mega far behind, but it just feels like all the timings have hit at the exact same moment for Nigma Galaxy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does give that vibe. It's pretty hard to find an easy way out of this one for Mansaf. And I'm just trying to look like, is it an item? Is it a level? Is it a talent? And it can't just be one thing, right? It has to be multiple things that click for this Dire team to feel comfortable, because they're definitely not in their comfort zone.
Bottom tower is under attack.
No, I was thinking you were asking, like, what does Nigma need to try and finish this game? And to me, it feels like it's just this trio of BKBs. Sumail on his Monkey King is about 700 gold away from picking up his. He's the last one for the team.
Well,
they might be able to take a team fight without Sumail being there.
It's just that GH is the one who runs in front and Terrorblade's revealed. And now Sumail, Simeon striding his way to join the squad. Miracle also holds on the Aegis. He's not the target they want either. And I love how Sumail is also prepared not to go directly under Dire vision.
He's walking around,
and
as
they're
a
catching
haste
the
rune
Earth
with a
Spirit of
haste
guard.
rune.
He's going to have to give away his position, and that means that ward will no longer serve a purpose.
I'm still just watching this haste rune move around the river, but finally breaks out of it to be able to clear out the creep wave, and now they really just want to replant their flag up on this high ground. Prevent, again, use this Aegis to its fullest potential, right? You've still got minute 15 on it. Sure, there's no tier 2 towers to be able to claim, but you just want to prevent them from getting into any sort of items that might give them a foothold into this game.
There's the D ward. GH is going to claim this area. This is Nigma territory.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mansaf going to have to watch again as they lose another area of the map. They corral through mid towards top.
Radiant's
There are some
middle
tier 1 towers to take at least.
I mean, I don't think that's the issue right now. The issue is you got 45 seconds left on this Aegis, and Miracle hitting up in onto the high ground.
Radiant's middle tower
There's that
is under
BKB
attack.
coming through as well. Noob hasn't sold the drums, so could possibly have a veil for this teamfight if he really wanted to, but doesn't seem like that'll be the case, and might be forced to back off without taking that high ground teamfight. So good composure coming through from Mansaf, not wanting to give this one up for free.
And also just wanting to give that little mistake leading outside the base, but can they punish Noob? They would love to
just try and
jump
get
him,
some
but he just
BKBs
blinks away,
used.
and now they are really far out of the base, but unfortunate for Nigma, they don't have the Monkey King nearby or the SF to commit to that. Aegis expires now. Nigma will continue to increase their net worth lead, choking out Mansaf inside their own base.
I mean, they would love to be able to get into this BKB on the Earth Spirit
at
sometime
top.
soon, but he's not really in a position
I think
to do
this
it.
is the mistake they were waiting for.
Yep.
They're going to get it. So that is your Earth Spirit. To the graveyard he goes. Does have buyback, but in the mid lane, Muerta gets jumped on, and Omar with the Pierce the Veil. He's immune.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Damage coming
away pretty
through,
quickly.
and now CM walking in towards the high ground. Miracle, 1, 2, 3, and Nagato's down to 100 HP. Sumail will take him. Now with the BKB popped as well, he'll force Isla and Russell on the run.
Not jumping into the tree dance either. Those TB illusions actually didn't hit him for quite some time, so it was off cooldown, but it's going to feel like a bit of a wasted BKB. Still, at the end of the day, though, you are continuing to hinder this Earth Spirit and his item progression. DK's no slouch, though. He's got a decent amount of farm at this stage.
He does, but how much impact does his current inventory provide?
I mean, if he can get into that SNY plus level 18, I'd say that's actually not that bad, you know? Like the additional, 40 damage that you get from the extra level in the Elder Dragon form, a little bit of bonus movement speed, combined together with the Sanjin Yasha. It's going to feel not too bad. It's really just about getting that control that they need, but it almost feels like you need to jump onto Omar first. Like anyone that just doesn't have that BKB available.
Let's see who they can get, because right now Nigma is split on the map. Doom TPs to the outpost, joins his teammates. Sumail and Omar still on right next to that T1 tower. Sumail smoked up. Taz shows himself with a push. Instant glyph for the T1 tower. And by the looks of it, them taking this long to push this tower, Miracle's like, can we push high ground now?
They see Sumail, excuse me, underneath this ward. They'd be able to catch him, not with a Simian stride.
He lost his Wisdom Rune to Isla.
And Miracle is still just pushing on the bottom side of the map, so they're going to need to back up. He was able to secure a tier 3 tower, and pretty much, and I mean, they could potentially be the ones split themselves if it's not a full team cohesive retreat. Noob trying to get a bit of a pincer move happening here.
Marcy's courier doesn't go from one hit because of the melee, and his in it, and now they got the jump in here. Isla's dropped low already. Can they get this Doom to run out? Omar Pierce the Veil just knocks them all out. One kill each for Noob, Sumail, and Miracle. Russell, Taz.
Creeps right there, so you could just keep the push on going. You've got the Daedalus, you've got the Enchanted Quiver, so you're getting two-shot as the supports right now.
Also getting the Blink Stun to connect there for Noob. Russell, half HP. Maybe they can make a nifty Sunder play happen. But who do you use it on? Is it Omar? Is it somebody else? They go for the Doom, try to blow him up, and Noob's dropping low here.
The damage!
But it's not enough. Taz won't be able to finish him off, and Russell gets blown up. And you know what every death means. That's another lasting presence stack for Miracle.
I mean, he's hitting into a freaking TB for 1,300 damage on this Shadow Feed, right? TB, pretty damn tanky against physical damage. Not this SF, though.
Pops his BKB timely there. Mask of Madness popped as well. They push him forward so he could deal some damage. And they will finish off at least a couple more kills. And that's 5 stacks of lasting presence. So the buildings will fall even faster. Marcy down for a 2-hit. GG.
Look at the damage.
I mean, it's pretty insane. Like, you 4-hit these melee racks down. You 3-hit range racks. Pretty much almost 3-hitting as well on the TB, like you pointed out. A hero that we know has a lot of armor. But seriously, do something to this lasting presence. I mean, come on, that's not even fun.